So we're actually going to go back one night for a brief moment, just because I don't want to forget something. So this did happen, but Willow, um, you had a rough night the night before. You had all kinds of craziness happen to you, near-death experience, or maybe even just full-on death. Um, and your memory's kind of foggy. Some weird things happen to you. Um, blood, so having to do with blood being removed, something crazy. Obviously, Lord saw all that. That same night when you agreed to help Derek kind of patrol, you kind of remembered that um, you got this awesome ring from Misko. Um, so as you're kind of like patrolling the rainy streets, the rainy, dark streets of Vogler, um, you see your horse, and could you remind us all the name of the horse and how they look? You see them in the stable, let's say around near the Brass Crab. Um, and yeah, Darrett's kind of been taking care of it, so this actually kind of makes sense that that you two would kind of take a moment during this guard shift to let you attune to this creature if you wish. So I wanted to make sure that you did have your horse in your little Pokemon ring
Yeah.
um, before shit hits the fan.
But yeah, her name is Spitfire. I somehow managed to tame her in the middle of the battle on High Hill that was supposed to be a fake battle, ended up not being a fake battle. And I've been gifted a ring that basically just makes it so I can summon her if I need to, and if she goes down to 0 hit points, goes back into my ring, and after I think a long rest, I can call her again. I'm not entirely sure of the mechanics on that, but
I think,
yes, I would
yeah, I think that was
love
it.
to
It was
take a
like
chance
pretty
to
much
redeem it.
once a day.
Yeah,
Yeah. So how does this look? Misko, you remember Misko's words of like, you need to basically touch the creature and try and think positive, warm, loving thoughts. Try and
yeah. I
bond
feel
with
like
it.
it would just take some time to like groom it. Horses need a lot of care, so like brushing, obviously giving treats and such. Just taking time for it to get more comfortable with me because again didn't meet under the best circumstances and her horses can be very finicky, so yeah, just take time, maybe even have Darrett there too since he's been taking care of her and might feel more comfortable that way.
Cool. Yeah, so and the horse is like you feel kind of this weird spiritual connection to it. Um, this being that is an animal is attuned to you now and to this ring. Um, so you now have Spitfire on your hand, basically. I don't know if you want to take them at this moment, or the next day if you want them to enjoy the night. Obviously, you don't know what Willow at this point doesn't know what's about to happen to her.
Yeah, I would say she probably left Spitfire in the stable because she didn't think anything crazy was going to happen. But the following morning probably went, "I should have her on me," and went to get her.
Perfect. Yeah, following morning, that makes sense. Maybe on the way to like when the messenger or whatever blew their horn and things were getting kind of tense, maybe like on your way, you're like, all right, I'm getting my horse. Um, cool. And one more surprise. You get this memory of that night. Um, so same scene, right? It's raining, it's dark. You see this basically shadowy being, almost 7 feet tall. And then you see the drunk guy, right? That's kind of like lurking around, the tall drunk guy. And I want to believe you had a really high perception check because I remember saying like this is soft, like you could tell it was soft. So I feel like you got a pretty high perception because it was a difficult perception check because of the rain and the darkness and stuff. Um, and this is a memory that's come back to you, and it's basically you see Soth reach out his hand Looks like it's kind of aimed at the river, at the Vanguard River. So facing south of the town. And you hear millions of screams. What sounds like millions, just all kinds of children, women, men, all types of humanoids screaming. It's like an echoing sound, like it kind of gets louder and louder and louder, and it goes like it feels like it's just right next to you. As Soth has his hand out pointed at the Vanguard River. And actually do a perception check. Do one more perception check. What the fuck? A natural 20? Hell yeah, there we go. Start off the session strong. Um, yeah, so this is perfect. You perfectly hear soft, 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 why soft? And you just hearing it. There's these people screaming for soft, 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 just soft, non-stop, soft, soft, save us, soft, 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 just everywhere, just echoing all around you. And then it goes away as he puts his hand down, and the drunk says, "What the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you?" And then the rest of the scene plays out. So let's say that's memory kind of like after you help the townsfolk kind of get their shit together, Mayor Raven, like you kind of get a little bit of a head, your head starts hurting a bit, and you just remember that all of a sudden. Um, so you know that you've missed out on some moments there. Sorry, I'm kind of on puppy duty too, but he's okay. Cool. Any questions about any of that? So you have your horse and a weird scene to, I guess, be scared of. Um, okay. So I think it's fitting for us to go to the action, to go to Cudgel, Lyx, and Sneak, who launched themselves invisibly at the top of the hill, the largest hill of Vogler. Um, and uh, and yeah, and you all Lyx, you kind of convinced the other two that let's get some information. I know we don't have too much time, but let's try and get something, right? Since we're invisible, they might spill the beans, and like yeah, and this trio is actually rather talkative. Um, and yeah, I guess I can kind of re-describe them and recap a little bit of what they said just as a reminder. Um, So yeah, there's a kind of that gruff, bearded dragon soldier image I've already shown of like a very generic white guy who looks like kind of a mercenary. I'll show eventually, I'm sure. But that's one of them. The other one, and he seems kind of like the more like lax one. He kind of doesn't really care. He doesn't see this like job that. Hey, hey, you guys hear him? He's like going crazy. Oh, okay. I'll just pretend he's a scary voice in my head then. Um, so then the other one was the dark skinned woman. She was kind of the more serious one, the one who's actually taking her job seriously of looking over Vogler. She was attentive of the bell being rung. Um, and and yeah, and she was kind of around like being pretty serious. And then the other one, he was the creepiest one. I didn't fully explain him too well. They're all humans, by the way. He's bald. He's bald. He has no eyebrows. He's got no facial hair, so bald everywhere. Has really dark, like, um, oh my God, what's it called? Like he hasn't slept in ages, like really dark bags under his eyes. But they look scary on him. It almost makes him look like a skeleton. And then he does have these creepy like kind of tattoos. Obviously, they're all wearing the red dragon armor of the red dragon army. He's the one who is more devout, who seemed devout, and he also isn't scared of Vogler. He wasn't really taking the situation seriously, but he was the one that was like, oh, maybe we should just give these Voglers a chance. Let them fight back. Let's not go so hard. That way we can see Consaldi. Oh, Consaldi and her amazing dragon Ignia. Just watch them burn this place down. It'll be beautiful. You two have not seen her power. It'll make you believe. It'll make you believe in this army and in Takhisis. Um, so yeah, in their discussions, Lyx, Sneak, and Kujo, you all picked up that yeah, there's a freaking dragon. There's a general or someone called Consaldi who rides this dragon. Apparently, they've conquered pretty much large portions of the west of Ansalon, the continent that you're on. What else did I reveal? Oh, it sounds like they're actually going to attack before evening. They have no plans to, you know, the messenger made it sound like there was going to be some kind of quartering attempt. The way these soldiers are speaking, it sounds like it's just going to be an attack. It's going to be an invasion. Um, and was there anything else? Those are the main ones I remember. And I'm actually gonna reveal one more thing. Let's say that you guys wait like 20-ish minutes max, probably. Um, the creepy bald guy looks at the other two and says, "So, what do you two think of the Draconians?" And then the kind of more normal looking guy is they freak me out. You can't talk to those things. They're hell bent on serving Takhisis, and that's it. I guess they're good soldiers, but not much for conversation, and definitely don't want to get in their way. You seen those things die? It's not a pretty sight. They don't go out with they go out with a bang, that's for sure. Um, and the dark-skinned woman, she um, she says, to be honest, they are unsettling, and it's the one thing I haven't enjoyed of being a part of this amazing army. But I'm sure it's all for the right cause. Um, and they are powerful. So who am I to judge power?
Okay, like Lyx is maybe poking, being like, do we do it?
Yeah, and sorry, and just to be very clear, because I'm kind of tired of saying reptilian people, they're the Draconians. This is now you guys know who they are. The Draconians are the weird dragon-like humanoids that you've been facing thus far. So I'll refer to them as that. Okay. So Licks, you're poking.
Hmm.
Okay.
I'm like, they're just gossiping at this point. Like, I think we can just hustle on back.
Yeah, they gave away some stuff, but otherwise they're quote unquote normal people just talking a bunch of bullshit.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, so let's actually get to roll 20. Hopefully you're there. Ba-bam.
Oh, good. Fun, fun.
Wait, excusez-moi. Do you see them? Do they pop up?
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, you all are probably back here with Kuji. You actually don't even need to spawn. Let's see. Let's try this in theater of the mind. I still want to give like an image, uh, just to kind of show what's going on. So yeah, over here is that beach, that kind of secret beach to the right of the high cliffs. Over here, like down here in this section, is actually the Bogler, right? If you fall down this giant cliff over here, this is hundreds of feet. That is Bogler. So this is, let's say that this is the dark-skinned soldier, and then yeah, Baldy and normal guy, generic evil dude um, over there. They're kind of just chilling around the tree while she's taking it a little more seriously right at the edge of the massive cliff. The wind is blowing, the trees are rustling, the leaves are falling, the sun is high in the sky. You guys can hear birds. It's actually quite a peaceful scene um, outside of these soldiers who are lurking over Vogler, ready to shoot down anyone that tries to leave through the gates. Um, what do you do? And as a reminder, the second that Sneak and Kujo let go of Lyx's hands, they are not invisible anymore. But that is still, if you get close enough, it's still more than enough for an ambush. More than
Okay,
enough time for an ambush.
and it's just like me and Lyx right now, right? Me
And
and Lyx and
Kujal.
Kujal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um,
so I feel like I poke both of you and encourage to jump them, I suppose.
the last thing I wrote down as like a recap for myself is Sneak gonna ride for his motherfucking city. So I think I'm down. Yeah.
Okay, awesome.
You guys hear like the military-ish music?
hmm
Cool.
Yep.
All
Okay,
right.
so if we're gonna jump them, should we just straight go for it, or should we should
Basically,
we
we'll get
post
an
up?
opportunity to attack them before we have to do our
Initiative.
initiative. So yeah, we should go for it. But I was thinking about,
And your
hold.
attack will be at advantage because it's totally stealth. Your first attack.
Oh, well then maybe we should all just go because.
I have sneak attack, so
Okay.
should we
Yeah,
just?
let's
Oh,
do it.
So are you
All
all
right.
going for separate? What's going on? You're
Um,
kind of gonna. I'll have Cujo be like your group. You guys like
Um,
want to go like in the middle of them and attack them all, like. So she's
We're
kind of
gonna
hanging
be
precariously
so
off the
so
cliff.
quietly tiptoeing, arm in arm.
Okay, she's hanging precariously at the top of the cliff. These guys are more in this shaded area.
Okay. And we're all wrapped around her. We can't just like spring out, but can we like circle around and maybe get closer to her and then spring out?
You're all together right now, so you're all linked hand in hand. You just gotta tell me who's going for what and who's doing what.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and do the Family Dagger Gauntlet Dagger Strike, which is gonna be also a sneak attack. I don't know.
Yep. Yeah. So
Um,
that's the damage though. Sneak attack is damage. So first, let's see if you hit.
Okay, so it's a 1d6 for the sneak attack, right?
So it's your roll to hit. So roll d20, and then add your attack modifier proficiency bonus.
It's been like a month since I've done this. Sorry, I'm dumb right now. My proficiency bonus +2. I'm glad you made me do that. So 1d20. And then +2, so 7.
Ooh. So it should be. Wait, it should be more than that. But at
1d
advantage. So it's at advantage too. So you get one more hit, Sneak.
Oh, okay, cool.
It should be
20.
That's a
A
natural
perfect 20.
20.
Yeah.
Oh my god,
Thank goodness.
hilarious. That's like Colton's luck in a nutshell. I feel like you
Yeah,
either roll like
100%.
absolute shit or it's incredible.
Yeah, 100%.
All right, who are you going for, Colton?
I'm gonna go for the one closest to the bush.
Okay,
I'm
so
gonna just do a
bald
long
freak.
strike.
Scary.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a long stride out. I'm gonna just jump out and I'm gonna punch him with my right hand, which has the dagger.
Yep.
Bah! See if I
Okay,
can hit him
roll
with this.
damage. So it's the
All right.
d6, and then it's actually 1d6 for your dagger, and then I think 2d6 for your sneak attack, right? You have 2 of those.
No, just one. I just have the
Oh,
gauntlet.
you at level 3, you just wait. No, your sneak attack though, as a rogue, I think you have 2.
Yeah, you just grab those 3d6 and shake them up
Just
and
3d6 and throw them,
Ding.
and
All right.
then add your attack modifier, which is whatever your dexterity modifier is. Okay.
My dexterity modifier.
Oh, and this is a crit. So actually, let's turn
It's
that
+1.
Okay, so let's turn that one, that lowest one. This is my rule. Lowest one's gonna be fully maximized. So that's 12, 17, 18. You one-shot Baldy. How does it look?
Wow.
So as I jump in, I just get him right in the neck, and then I like land on his chest and bring him down to the ground and roll into the bush behind him.
Amazing. Yeah, so he was just smiling, like saying, I can't wait for this. And then all of a sudden, this little Kender comes out of nowhere. He can't even react. Stab, slammed into the bush. The others are like, what the fuck? Let me roll for, I'll let Lyx, you can think of what you're gonna do, but I'm just gonna go real quick for Pujol.
Okay.
Oh my god. Okay, she definitely hits. She rolled a 19, which also one-shots. She goes for the regular guy, the one right next to Baldy. Just comes out with her giant war hammer, smack right in his face. His head goes fucking flying. Lyx, it's you.
Are they?
As
Sorry.
as the one on the corner is like, ah! It's all happening too quick.
Is the one
You have-
that I have left? Do they have metal armor on?
Yeah.
Okay, then I will do my shocking grasp. So I run up to
Oh
them
shit!
and
Okay. And
I
you're
just-
actually more invisible than them. You're still
yeah,
invisible.
I'm still invisible, and then I'll grab onto their wrist, and so I guess I have like triple advantage now because I have advantage if they're wearing metal armor.
Amazing. Yeah, so just roll twice for advantage. And actually, what I do with triple advantage is you'll get a +1. You get +1 to your roll
Okay.
instead of a third better roll. Normally, that's more helpful.
Okay, I got 18.
Okay. Yeah, normally that's more helpful because let's say you roll twice, like, stop. If you roll twice, you're probably gonna get one number that's pretty good. So adding that +1 to everything else, all your other stuff is even better. Because
Yeah.
that third roll might be a 4, and it
Yeah.
won't help you at all. Cool. Sorry. So you rolled 18 to hit, roll damage.
Woo! 12.
Okay. So she gets shocked, right? It's like lightning damage or something.
Yeah.
So what I'm gonna say is,
And it can't
that-
take reactions until its next turn.
Okay. So this is what happens. She sees, right? This is her scene. So imagine her first person perspective. Sees her two fellow soldiers just kind of goofing around, being lazy. And then all of a sudden, a Kender and a dwarf come out of nowhere and annihilate her allies. Come out of thin air. As she steps back, freaking out, and then all of a sudden, a small gnome grabs her, shocks the shit out of her, and she falls down. She takes a step back out of pure fear and pain and goes flying, splattered somewhere at the bottom of the hill. And then Kujal immediately rushes out and she kind of does like some kind of bird signal. And Jayev was kind of waiting around, and he sees the dead body, and he like does another signal and starts marching through the gates, dashing at incredible speeds. And then Kujal looks at you two and says, "You guys fucking rock! That was amazing!" She's like, "All right, I'm gonna go get my men. You guys do whatever the fuck else you need to do." And then she rushes down the hill through the woods toward her mercenary camp to recruit her soldiers. And you two are at the top. As you just totally annihilated these people. They didn't even have a chance to experience your other round. Because technically you would have all had one more round.
Oh, wow.
Unless they rolled really high initiative, but yeah.
Sure. I feel queasy, but I'm just like, okay. Picking up the ankles of one of the person, maybe the one that Kujal killed, and I'm dragging it away, and I'm like, Sneak, we need to hide the bodies.
Okay.
I would like to see if there's anything I can snag from them before I go.
Sure.
Sure. Yeah, among the two bodies here, are you all gonna work your way down back to Vogler next?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'll let you loot all of them. We'll
Alright,
say
sure.
that among all of them, you are each able to get to split it 10 gold each. So 20 gold total among all of them. So Lyx, you get 10. Sneak, you get 10 gold. Yeah, they have decent armor and swords. Nothing better than what you might have. And also, I believe, at least Lyx, you might not be able to even equip it. 'Cause you might not
Yeah,
be
that's
strong
true.
enough for a proficient or whatever. I'm gonna let Bing.
While we wait. Oh, okay.
I'm here. I'm listening. I got AirPods,
Oh.
so you guys can just keep going.
Okay. Well, yeah, I'm thinking we'll drag the bodies because Cristian, the army's gonna come from this way. Oh, how do you do the vibration point
You
thing?
just hold down left click, should be,
There we go.
on your
They're
point.
which way are they gonna come from? The army.
North.
So maybe we hide them in this thicker brush over here. That's not too
Okay.
far. We're
These are
gonna
trees, by the way. These are all trees, actually.
Oh.
Mhm.
But I mean, you could find some, I'll say that you could find some bushes that could fit them.
Okay. I'm searching for bushes.
You find them. So yeah,
Okay.
you find bushes that are big enough. You guys want to throw them in there then?
Yes.
Yeah,
Cool.
I'm like, I don't know. I'm just like kind of like making sure both of their eyes are shut, tapping
One
it.
of them's missing a head.
Oh shit. Then the one that has a head, the other one, I'm just like,
I have a feeling like Sneak, like maybe just like soccer ball kicks the head like off into the fucking river over here or something.
Yeet.
Just football punt. Okay, yeah, so they're pretty. Actually, why don't you two? Shit, what could this be? This could be a good check.
nature.
Um,
Or...
it's like a hiding thing though, so I almost want to say sleight of hand.
Okay, sure.
Um, I can give advantage to one of you, since you're both doing it together.
Sneak,
It
you
could
should
be a
have it.
stealth, maybe.
Could be stealth. I could be convinced for stealth. So
I'm
you can roll at advantage, Sneak, because Lyx is helping you.
I got a 6.
Should I roll the stealth, or what did you want me to roll? Sorry.
You just roll. Yeah, do a d20 stealth check. A natural 20 again? Oh my
Amazing.
god! And the other one was a crit failure. What the fuck is this?
So funny.
I know,
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
it. I suck and I win.
that's insane. That is literally sneaking in your rolls in a nutshell right there. That's ridiculous. Okay.
I'm just imagining
So
like a super sneedy or speedy sneak, like arranging all the twigs.
yeah, I feel like you guys like you're putting like these twigs and bushes to like make it look almost like a funny like wood face person, but then like it's just hidden. So at first it looks like a joke, but then like you kind of take a step back and it's like what? It's like
Oh,
one of those things that you have to put your head in there and it's like it shows what it is. But like from far away, like it's these two bodies are totally hidden unless someone, I don't know, has incredible smell or something like that. But yeah, they're hidden. Um, okay.
so I think we're jogging, right?
Let's get it. Yeah.
Jogging toboggan.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. All right.
Jogging
So
and bogging.
we are back at the village circle with Mayor Raven and most of the town, right? Willow and Melvin, you basically just convinced a good portion of the town to evacuate. Um, I'm actually going to give Willow and Melvin some time to do some actions here and some kind of movement on maybe the War Council stuff, just because obviously, you know, time happened while Lyx and Sneak were fighting and stuff. But you all will eventually arrive. So what's on the agenda? So Mayor Raven kind of, um, yeah, she kind of set up like, all right, here's what we're going to do. So what's the first thing?
Quick recap. How many people said that they would not leave regardless?
About almost 100. So
Okay.
from 70 to 100. I will say though, narratively, you guys are not quite sure of that yet.
Okay.
Not quite sure, but it'll be. I'll make it clear very soon.
Okay.
So sorry, and that wasn't a rhetorical question. What's the first thing you all want Mayor Raven to address? So this is something that you all spoke about, maybe, you know, out of session at some point with the other leaders. What do you two think is a good first thing to tell the town besides like, all right, get ready to evacuate? What are some things to help with this?
Basically just game planning. This really feels like it's mostly an evacuation and a defense so that they can get away. We're still not sure what we're going to do with the people who refuse to leave, but just shoring up, getting whatever possible weapons we can have, even if it's like big rocks or something we can throw.
Mhm.
Anybody who's planning to leave that's already packed, or anybody who's planning to stay, whatever they can gather to help those who are going to fight. I think that would be the next best thing to do.
Okay. Yeah, so Captain Rodon hears this, and you all spoke with him, right, with the village leaders about this, and he kind of helps relay this with you, Willow, um, and he says, he adds in like pitchforks, shovels, large rocks. Um, you are not expected to stay and fight, but get something just in case to get out of here. Um, and and then he kind of reassures everyone, the soldiers of Kalaman will fight for you all, and soon so will Kujal and her mighty regiment of mercenaries. Okay. Let's say that with that, you guys inspire like like a lot of people are moving around, they're shuffling around, they're keeping that in mind to get those weapons. But like maybe 10-ish more people are like, all right, maybe I should get out of here. This is starting to hit.
Lady Mayor Raven,
Yes. Yes, Melvin.
what are we gonna do about Baccharis, that jerk? He adds underneath his breath.
I don't know. I saw them run off to their living quarters. We could really use their nice boat to help evacuate people. I was actually thinking, and then she kind of does a kingfisher sound, like a kingfisher bird sound, and then Waywin, Lix's dad, like recognizes that call and then immediately runs up, and she looks at him and says, "We need to organize as many of the personal ships as we can to get more people out. The ferries and the Calaman ships, they're not enough. We have to get our friends, Waywin. We have to talk to the fishermen. Um, Waywin and I can be in charge of that, making sure that we can try and at least have enough ships to get people out of here." Um, so Waywin kind of goes and starts doing that, and Raven will join him shortly, but she's still here to help with this stuff. So we don't know the fate of that yet, but Waywin's off to help try and recruit some more boats because there's about 400-ish Voglins, and there's only enough ships for maybe 300-ish. But that is not including every single personal vessel, whether it be decorative, whether it be a piece of crap, a canoe, it's not considering those kind of things. It's not considering the Baccharis's boat.
Um,
Yeah, and I'll change to the Vogler map, and you guys can keep cooking.
I'd also like to request that Mayor Raven requisition funds, emergency town funds from taxes, any sort of treasure, any sort of valuable thing. Melvin's going to use is essentially going to I can either wait until Sneak and Lyx get back to summon
We can, yeah.
with the
So
Requiem.
time is very flexible. Time is flexible in this session, as you've already seen with how I started it. Just because I kind of want it to be a little montagey, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
And so Mayor Raven, yes, she's for it. She does say that they are pretty low on funds for having to pay the soldiers, having to give Calaman some money. Although Alastrius did try and back them up as much as he could. And she's able to give 500 gold for a ship. I do want to remind that looking at the folding boat, the maximum it can hold is 15 people. So that's just something. I mean, that's definitely people, right? That's definitely people on a boat that can be helped. But that's just something to consider as well.
So, quick question. Since we all kind of worked for the Baccharises, would we have an idea of how big their ship is? Like, is it just a small personal ship? Would it carry
It can probably fit 20-ish people. 20,
Well, then
30.
they deserve and need to help out. If everyone's going to pitch in, then it's time for them to act like they care about this town.
And then Raven's like, I agree. I'm not sure who can convince them though. They clearly are no fans of me.
Oh, I can help with that.
Melvin kind of looks nervously at Willow. Let's go.
Yeah, I think we're
All
gonna
right.
head where their ship is because I don't want to
Yeah.
miss.
Okay. So you all run to where they would be taking off. And you see their ship on the horizon, as they already prepared their ship a long time ago. The moment, maybe even the moment they heard of this army coming, and they're long gone. And you don't know if they took anyone or anything. They're too far to be reached right now. As they drift into the horizon toward Calaman, being some of the first people that will reach Calaman, right? And from Vogler.
Mhm. So I
They're
think after
gone.
having some expletives at the boat, we will never be able to reach. I think that we're gonna head back to. I have a good arm, but not that good. I'm sorry. Head
Yeah,
back
this
over
is like very far, right? It's like almost the
Fern
full width of
Gully
the
and
river.
see what might be left behind because they definitely had time to pack, but maybe they couldn't grab everything. Any money left behind, anything we can use as weapons or even furniture to toss in streets, make it harder for the army to advance. Anything, we will gut that place.
Yeah, so I actually want to jump on that idea because I remember it being on the War Council thing. The getting stuff to like kind of fill the streets to basically create make it so that there's narrow paths for the army to go through instead of wide area to spread through and cause harm. Let's say that at a certain point, do any of you want to bring that up to the people of Vogler? Bring up that plan? Only if you want to. I can also.
Melvin
Okay, go
can
ahead.
do that.
Okay, what does that sound like and look like?
Melvin, for kind of steps forward to Mayor Raven as orders are being given out, and he sort of whispers to Mayor Raven, like, "Well, hack me up on this." And then he steps forward and he says, "People of Vogler, well, if we're gonna run, we're not gonna make it easy for them to chase us down. I've never really liked being stabbed in the back. That's some gorge or honest bullshit. I'm not here for it. So take whatever you can. Make the passageways narrow. Break up in the waxes, the wheelbarrows, barrels, whatever you can. Just start kicking shit." He actually says, and he's like a little bit taken aback by the fact that he's like just advocating for people to like Donkey Kong, like barrels and shit. And he sort of explains how to directs which passageways and main arteries would be most efficient.
You guys hear the music? I imagine this kind of inspiring music playing as Melvin kind of shouts out at the Voglins, and all of a sudden you hear, "Yeah!" as Buff Bakerson rips off his shirt, shows his muscles, and says, "I can't arm wrestle, I can't bake, but I can lift!" And like he like lifts up a barrel above his head, and he's like, "I'll lead this charge, Melvin!" Yeah, you see massive biceps, like it's almost like a what's it called, Captain America, fucking Civil War moment a little bit. As his massive uncle is like, "Yeah, I'll help too," and he's also this giant of a man. As like, yeah, some of the burlier people, Yalma, who's also really strong and big, the owner of the Brass Crab, she's also going to kind of take the lead with this.
We also need people to form a watch patrol. You there? Melvin orders some maybe like teenagers or something. I guess I can do Maybe like an investigation check or something. I don't know.
Yeah, so actually, so sorry, I'm jumping around with the time.
Okay.
So let's say that happened, right? What the scene just happened of lifting, and then you guys go find the Bacarises because you're like, fuck, we need that ship. And then that's when it happens. You guys ransack their place, but you do find a lot of great furniture there, big paintings and big tables and such to add to this. Um, and money is not here. I mean, you could find maybe 2 gold each from just like change that's around. That's kind of like flopped around. It looks like
What
someone
about their
maybe made
candlesticks? The
the
candlestick
candlesticks.
holders?
Sure. If you're take them for now and then sell them later. You can take that. You find the candlesticks. Um, I mean, they do have instruments, but they're pretty big. Um, Yeah, you
Out
have
of
you all types of
curiosity,
cooking equipment, right? All kinds of pots and pans. Some people grab them as like weapons. Um, um, Brotar actually, one of the chefs is kind of like angrily like punching stuff just because getting out some tension, I guess, from working for these bastards. Yeah, go ahead, Willow.
I was just gonna ask, do we find any like random little things to grab and maybe trade as trinkets to Zoblob?
The candlesticks, there's very beautiful candle holders that seem trinket like. There's a couple really nice spatulas. You guys can add that. One of you can add an elegant spatula. Beautiful candlesticks. Um, there's one really nice frying pan. It's a little burnt, but it's like a cast iron. It looks pretty good. Pretty heavy.
Like their living quarters are completely like cleared out. They took
Yeah,
everything. Okay.
yeah, they were ready. They were ready, it seems.
Those
Um,
fucking
they
batches.
they had one more, I guess, grasp at power that they tried to do before settling on, I guess, their plan B. It's kind of the feeling that you both kind of get, conclusions you draw. Um, yeah,
Let's get out of here. It stinks here.
yeah. So yeah, you guys kind of get these final memories of working here. That one, fateful night where Sneak and Willow stopped a big bar fight. One of those gentlemen unfortunately died at the Battle of High Hill. The other one's arm sliced off by Soth. Um, but otherwise, a very good night, a night of fun, of merriment, and of Lyx throwing bugs into young Bakaris's pants, making him run out almost naked into the river. And now he's running away on the river. So some poetry there. Um, Cool. So I'll say with all these kind of speeches, all this like galvanizing and movement around, Sneak and Lyx make it back into town, into the village circle. Um, Sneak a little bloodied, I'd imagine, unless you cleaned yourself up on the walk over, but
Nah.
something tells me you probably didn't. And then Lyx, you look fine. I mean, you got the armor, and she just
Yeah, you
fell.
just threw somebody off a cliff, dude.
She shocked
Seeing,
them.
I guess if they're kind of coming into the town center where presumably Willow and Melvin might be on the path to kind of converge, Melvin's gonna run, kind of briskly walk up to Sneak and be like, "Whose blood is that? Is that ew? Are you bleeding?"
Not I. Just some unfortunates.
You do also
What?
notice his weird new shirt over his armor, which also has really dried, stained blood and a rose on it. So he's got blood on his mask and, on his general gear, and also old stained blood on this weird new shirt over his armor.
It almost sounded like you said genital gear instead of general gear.
The genital deer.
Oh man. I feel like so we're coming upon Willow and Melvin. So I think I'm gonna like almost do like a side hug to Willow and be like, it's so much worse, I think. It's so much worse.
Oh yeah. You all don't know. That's true. No one knows.
What do you mean? Yeah, I
Um,
don't think it can get much worse than this.
Oh,
Pelham,
it certainly can.
can you
Then
do
May
it?
Raven comes and Darrett and May Raven come. They're like, "Is Kujal okay? Did you guys?
Yeah,
You did
Kujal's
it.
okay.
Okay.
Um,
She's heading to
they,
get her people.
yes, yeah,
Amazing."
they lied about everything. They lied about everything.
And then May Raven looks at you. What do you mean?
They have no intention of really any talks of peace. It's give up or die.
They have a freaking dragon, real life dragon.
I was hoping the next time we saw a dragon, it would be Garumaruth, but looks like we can't be that lucky. Mayor Raven, we have to get everybody to evacuate. We have to gather as many people as we can. There's not going to be any fighting, any standing. We have to get out.
Yeah, we're gonna have to address the general population again. I really feel like a dragon coming is going to change their opinions on staying or not.
But maybe we should try to keep them from panicking. How do we keep the villagers calm?
You can't really keep from panicking when you're stuck between a rock and a hard thing.
I agree. I think that this is a smart, albeit sentimental bunch, but I really think we should level with them. Too many people want to stay, and I mean, the last time we faced a dragon, it was friendly, but I don't think that's going to happen this time. So we need to get out of here. In fact, we might need to figure out how we're going to get out of here after defending too, because we can't take on a dragon.
No, we need to run too.
Well,
Yeah.
how are we gonna get away? We don't have a boat.
I mean, my dad has like a skiff. That could probably fit us all.
That feels wrong.
Well, I'm just saying we need to rally but we're
Yeah.
gonna be okay too. Or maybe. I mean, we're gonna try and be okay.
Oh
I
no,
feel-
I'm we're gonna be the last out, but we need to figure out how we're gonna get out. I'm not
Yeah.
saying run with everybody. I'm saying cover them on the way out.
Yeah. Then
What are we
Raven
gonna
looks at
do
you
when
all
we're
and
out?
says, the boats are the priority. Okay, I'm gonna start rallying who I can. Actually, no, yes, let's ring the bell again. And we need to get everyone's ships and everyone has to go. Derek, can you relay this information to Becklin? I believe she's still strategizing in Thornwall Keep. And then he's like, right away, and he like rushes. All right. So bell time again. So yeah, an hour-ish has passed. So
Can
now,
can we take a break before we
yeah,
get to it?
but you guys hear the bell. And actual time is passing. And this time matters. So, but everything you've done has been accounted for. Let's say that's been about 2-ish hours that have passed. As Buff and them are, the streets are starting to look pretty good by the orders of Melvin. Captain Rodon has helped gather a lot of weapons with people. His troops are starting to get ready to go to Thornwall Keep and hear the battle plan with Sir Becklin. Of course, she has to kind of rethink things now that there's a dragon. Kudral is out, but should be coming back with her forces as well. That's where we'll leave it. We'll leave it at the town kind of coming back to the village circle to be addressed once again. You work with me, I'll make you a star, I promise.
You're gonna go big, kid.
I'm gonna be a star.
All right. Cool. So yeah, just a little bit of setup for what just happened. Waywin actually makes it back. He's like, I've gotten some of the fishermen to help with their ships, but it looks like some of them don't even want to leave the town still. And Bill Breaks actually shows up, your other dad, Lyx. And they both look at you and they're like, oh, okay, she's good. And then Bill Breaks is like, I'm not even gonna ask. And he looks at Waywin and he's like, hey, can I help with anything, honey? Anything you think? And he's kind of like nervous and he looks like, he doesn't really know what to do. And Waywin just kind of says, just, it's okay, dear. Just go get your things. Make sure you have everything you need. Maybe you can get Lyx's stuff. Lyx, is there any special request?
Do I have my backpack on me?
Sure.
Then I'm good.
Okay. And then Bilbrix is like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll double check everything and make sure we're good and have the boat ready. Yep, okay. And then you see his like tubby little legs, little body just kind of oldish man gnome body kind of running away. Yeah, so dragon reveal. Darrett went to go tell Becklin, and Raven's kind of ready to call the town back. Captain Rodon, no one else who looks like they should ring the bell is going to ring it. So I don't know if someone else wants to jump in and do that. It's kind of you gotta use your muscles.
I probably can't do it.
Yeah. So yeah, let's let Mary Raven do it.
Do you want to? I can help you.
Yeah, you could just like.
No,
Watch
not Uppy.
Hold it. Wait, what's going on?
Just have Mayor Raven do it. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'll help if needed. Yeah.
Okay, so she doesn't do great. She kind of does one tug and like it's like kind of hurts her back a bit. It does one and then she's slowly able to get like kind of an unrhythmic like it doesn't sound like it did before. It's kind of like pretty unsteady rhythms. But it is enough to kind of get the attention of the townsfolk. Oh, so make sure it's a strength check because you actually might get more of an advantage with a strength check. And in fact, you could do an acrobatics check. Or it's not, athletics. Sorry, athletics check. So saves, remember, saves are if I attack you. I will ask you for a save. I will always ask you to make this such and such save. It's just a good old-fashioned. Okay, what's your modifier? Sorry, acrobatics is dexterity. I fucked you up there. It's supposed to be an athletics check. Unless you're trying to do like a flip on this bell. Well, you're trying to like twirl it around or do some kind of dance on it. So you could either do a straight strength check or a athletics. I'm guessing your athletics probably gives you your proficiency bonus or something. There we go. See, so here evidence that the save won't necessarily have the biggest modifier. So only take the save when I ask. A save will be like if a dragon lands. Actually, it's Soth. Every time Soth like charged at you guys with lightning speed, his force, you had to use your strength to hold on to not get blown away. Basically, that was a strength save that I kept making you all do. So this is just a good old-fashioned D&D strength check. Perfect. So yeah, you kind of help Mare Raven. You kind of go in after seeing her struggle, give that bell more rhythm, that dan 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 dan, very clear signal. As some of the people that are like working hard to fill the streets actually don't really stop doing what they're doing, including Buff. He's kind of just staying focused and really moving around these giant barrels and tables and stuff and like throwing them, even passing them to his like big ass uncle, just throwing big things to each other and blocking out the streets as like Captain Rodon and some of his soldiers are kind of helping people guide it to make it more strategically valuable. But pretty much everyone else comes back, notably not the Bacarises, but yeah, other people that were there. Lyx, you can see lots of familiar faces, old and new. And they gather around the village circle once more as the sun looms high in the sky and it's kind of a windy day. The beautiful ancient tree in the middle, you know, kind of rustling there as you guys are in front of Mayor Raven's house at the podium with the bell. Kingfisher decorations still up and waving around in the wind. And Mayor Raven says, we have to leave, everyone. It's not a question of staying here for the love of this place or anything like that. And I respect those who love Vogler that much. I do too. I don't want to leave. I didn't want to leave. But we have no choice now. This army is insurmountable from the information we've gathered. And for those who are going to fight, it'll be a fight to give us time at this point. To give us all time to escape. We must go. This is a serious, serious threat to all of you, to your properties. Vogler may be no more. And I'll roll a persuasion. Oh shit. So the unpopularity of kind of the events, her stumbling, even though maybe to you guys this was a good speech, she only rolled a 4. So yes, the people that want to go are still willing to go, but pretty much everyone else is like, I don't believe her. I don't trust Mayor Raven. You hear murmurs like, we should have trusted the Bacarises. This isn't right. Jay Vogler wouldn't have done this. You know, you hear all these kind of like murmurs around the crowd. You hear children, I'm scared, Mom. What are we gonna do?
Right. Voglins, please listen. And I don't know, I guess I'm little, so please listen. I'm gonna wave in my hand. I have important news regarding what Mayor Raven just said. Moments ago, Sneakling, Kujal, and I returned from a grave encounter. We catapulted to the location where we thought we saw the threat of many ranged soldiers, but there were only 3. We're being tricked by this group. Not only are they misrepresenting their militia, but they intend to take over and pillage this town no matter what we do. Their words are meaningless. And we also learned this Red Dragon army is being led by a dragon named Ignia and their powerful companion Consaldi. We must evacuate, as the army will be arriving this evening. As long as I've grown up in Vogler, we've been a peaceful town, enjoying our festivals, our fishing, foraging, our legends. We supported our neighbors, and Ispin and Becklin protected us. But now Ispin is gone, something new and just as deadly approaches, a dragon army that significantly outnumbers our trained fighters. It's no one's dream to be a refugee, but friends, we have to go. To head to Calaman together is to choose to live. It is to choose to honor Ispin, and it is to ensure our endurance. Please do not give up and die here. We can work together now to ensure everyone can evacuate Vogler. Calaman's forces are significantly larger and their city is fortified. There are people I know in Calaman. Perhaps you all have family members or friends in the city. If not, I can ensure that we'll help you find room and board. Our community transcends place, and maybe one day soon we can return and rebuild Vogler. But today we must go.
Yeah. There's kind of a hush across the crowd. And
I agree.
you hear kind of an old voice, kind of a fragile voice say, I love Vogler. You all can take my fishing boats. I don't need them. Lyx and Waywin have been a wonderful addition to this town. Take them. And then you hear more people say, I'll get our decorative boat from the top of our fucking house, whatever, our old thing. And then more people are chipping in, like you hear more voices of help, of support. You hear some people even say, I'm gonna fight for Vogler. Some of them are actually motivated to fight, as the people of Vogler are fully inspired to not give up on Vogler, because you can tell they all want to carry it with them no matter where they go, but to give it a fighting chance and a chance to get out and a chance to rebuild. So with the time that's left, I'm giving you all the opportunity to do more to help Vogler. You can also contribute to the things that are already happening, that are already in motion, or anything else. It's free reign still. Or if you want to talk to people, whatever.
I think we should.
Some people do applaud you, Lyx, but it's more of a hushed respect. You know, there's some tears. Some people are scared and hugging each other. A couple people kind of go to you and like touch your shoulder. The really old man, this is one of Waywin's closest friends, who he fishes with very frequently. He was kind of one of the people that was stubborn, just because he felt like, you know, he was already old and kind of ready to, didn't really need the stress, but you've inspired him and he just wanted to let you know that. But yeah, go ahead.
I was gonna say, I think we should, at least when the evacuation process starts happening, kind of think a little bit of the edge of this. When the evacuation process starts happening, maybe we should just like scour the city real quick, just make sure people are out and people are safe. I don't know if that's
Yeah,
something
so
we
the
can
Knights
try
of
to manage.
Calaman are out and in full force now, helping out with that actually, as people are kind of getting ready to evacuate. And then about an hour later, Kujal arrives on her horse with her Iron Regiment, and they are also helping people evacuate, kind of getting them to the wharf. There's a bunch of boats on like strings now, on ropes, that are being mounted. People's things are being put on. So you know what I'm talking about, like the ropes with the whatever, the little pulley system that will bring it down to the water. They're all kind of like levitating a bit, so that people can go on the bridge, on the wharf, on the stuff to put their things there. So people are mostly focusing on getting what they can. Most are traveling light, some not as light. And there's almost enough boats for absolutely everyone, but there still seems to be a little bit short. But Mayor Raven did say that she would get 500 gold pieces toward Zablob's folding boat. Zablob is nowhere to be seen, but you do know how to contact him, supposedly.
Yes. Well then, sounds like a bard's job. So, taking up his lyre, I guess we can say that Melvin is kind of strumming the instrumental to
Okay.
Sir Ispin's jovial remembrance.
Okay.
First, it kind of
Oh,
urging
okay. So
people
you're still
on,
adding to
keeping
this?
them
Yeah, yeah,
calm.
yeah. Uh-huh.
So it's like keeping to the calm of the evacuation, trying to keep the panic low, subtly weaving the tide into it. Melvin's kind of feeling good because the tide is a little intoxicating. So
Do a performance check at advantage, and I'm giving it at advantage because of Lyx's kind of setup here. And Lyx, because I mean, that was a lot of effort you put into that. No rolls for that. That was awesome. And you get an inspiration point, my beloved.
so 8
If you
plus
didn't have
8
one already.
plus 2, so 16, 18. So
Perfect.
that's the
It's
first
very
one.
helpful, noticeably so with children. The children who are kind of confused. They hear your music. So one of them comes up and says, oh, you're just like Misko. You're just like the Misko guy. Yeah, he's like Misko. I love this song. Kind of giving you the impression that I guess Misko was jamming around town at some point, trying to calm people too. Awesome. Yeah, no, there's not as much panic, especially with the soldiers and now with the mercenaries, kind of helping out with keeping people calm, making them feel reassured, telling them that their escape is the priority and that they will still be protected, and that there's still time, according to the current knowledge.
And then my next one, after that kind of stanza has finished, he's gonna kind of signal to the bronze spurs and kind of look around and kind of nod them to like duck behind an alleyway. I'm gonna sing the Lavender Requiem. Like the wind kind of starts vibing.
Is someone waving lavender around? All right. So yeah, the music starts. I forget what lyrics I gave to that song. I think it was really stupid, like something along those lines. Uh,
All the
Zob loves trinkets. Zob loves trinkets. Something like that. Some kind of like kids tune almost. Yeah. So Melvin's performing that. And can you all make a perception check, actually? Huh. Wow. A dirty 20 for sneak. Hilarious. Sneak. So
It was 18 plus 2, actually.
yeah. So a dirty 20. So that's
okay.
what
Dirty.
that's what a
that's
nerd
right.
like.
Not in
yeah,
that. Okay, I understand now.
Yeah.
Okay.
Nerds call it a dirty 20. DnD lingo. Great. Yeah. No one, even Willow. You smell the lavender, Willow. You kind of feel like he's got to be around here somewhere, or whatever they are, they got to be around here somewhere, but you can't quite see them. And then sneak, you kind of smell the lavender aroma, and then suddenly you see a small being in what looks like a giant trench coat, in an alley, just a random alley.
Yo, gang. I think homie's over here. I'm gonna venture down that way.
Yeah, and then you hear a familiar voice say, "Psst, looking for some trinkets?" And he opens up the trench coat and has a bunch of bullshit. And all of a sudden, he goes, "Hey, good to see you all back for some trinkets. Oh, I'm so excited. You only could wait a couple days. That's very good. That's very good. I can't wait that long. How you all doing? It's so good to see you.
Hi, Zop.
Hello, Sneak. Oh, I'm so excited to share more trinkets with you." And suddenly his trench coat kind of like starts moving around almost like a being, and his backpack is back. That giant, massive thing with the weird hamster wheel looking things on the bag and all kinds of weird plushies and bullshit just attached to it. And he's like, "Oh, looks like the festival is still going. How fun."
I guess you could say that's all plum. Do you still have that folding boat?
Oh, I'll have to check. Let me ask my representative real quick. And he kind of whispers to his bag, and the bag kind of like moves around. And he's like, "Ooh." And then it pops out this weird, almost paper-looking boat. He's like, "Yes, I do. Very popular normally, but I guess it is pricey. Inflation and all that."
A sign of the times, I guess.
Yes.
We'll take one of those.
One of those is the only one.
So everybody.
Sandbottom, check out my patch.
Oh, Lit. Oh yes, I forgot my biggest fan. Yes, 10% off. So 900 gold, please.
Okay.
You've been showing that off to everyone, telling them about the shop.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay, that's good. I believe you.
So if we have 500 from Mayor Raven, we could all each contribute 100, and then we're Gucci.
Yeah,
I'll do 100 gold.
Okay.
awesome. So you all are now owners of the folding boat, which, as a reminder, has 3 commands. One command, basically, you can fit 4 people. Yeah, 4 people comfortably. So your party perfectly. And it's not a huge boat, right? It's a decent little canoe kind of thing. Oh no, actually it has a mast, so it's more like a sailboat, like a small sailboat. The second command creates a bigger ship that can hold up to 15 people. I'll say that if you squeeze it up, and with children maybe, we'll call it 20-ish people. And with that, you all have enough boats to evacuate Vogler in one fell swoop. You have enough space, including with the Calaman ships. It might not fit all the soldiers, but some of them are kind of aware that they might not be able to make it back. Well, anything else, my friends?
Dear Zablob, I would like to maybe get rid of my longsword. Would you be able to do a trade, perhaps? I'm looking for something maybe a little
longsword.
smaller, or maybe something a shield-like, maybe like a blunt object.
Ooh,
I'm not looking
longsword.
for
Let's
something so
see
long. There's my sword.
it.
The longsword.
It's kind of boring, if I'm being honest with you. Not very trinkety.
Trinket?
I'll
Well,
I'll say no, I'm sorry, good friend. But I'm sure
Yeah.
Calaman has weapon shops and such that he'll take something like that.
Okay,
but
well, thank you.
Zablon, What
Of course.
what would you give me for these? These are special trinkets from a lord's house.
Ooh, that sounds like a story. What are they?
This is the most perfect cooking utensil that was ever smelted. Straight from straight from the gnomish cities in the Underdark. I'm gonna pull out very triumphantly an elegant spatula.
All right, do a deception check. Okay.
Much wow.
Yeah, much wow. Ooh. Well, you didn't have to try so hard. You're so big. And he takes out 5 gold. He's like, how does that look?
Well, do you have any more of your random trinkets?
Oh, a trade. Sure. Yes. Okay. Interesting. Well, why don't you roll a D100 and a D10 while I pull this out?
Okay.
If you know what those are, right?
Yeah.
Let me grab it real quick. Okay, getting it. What's the number? You can just tell me.
Together,
Yeah,
96.
nice. Okay. I will tell you in just a minuto. So the bag is shaking around. You see something like kind of traveling around in this thing and then moving around and zooming around in these weird hamster fucking whatever they're called, little roller coaster walking things. And what the fuck? And out shoots, and actually like he kind of misfires and it shoots right at your face, and a giant sponge just hits your face. And he says, "Oh!" And it smells like beer. It smells like old beer. And he goes, "Oh, that's a good one. Very helpful. Oh, especially you put in the restaurant industry. That can clean up 60 gallons of ale on the ground. Only ale, though." So now you have an incredible cleaning sponge for beer on the ground. And he's like, and then before you can even think, snatches the spatula away from you, puts it into his thing, and like gets sucked into the bag. And he's like, great bargain. I will miss that one.
I want to go again.
Oh my god, okay. So yeah, people are like rustling around, like moving barrels and tables and like doing your battle plan, like people are trying to go. And then Melvin's like, wait, I need one more trinket. Go ahead and roll. Or actually, so no trades this time, 3 gold. You give him 3 gold.
Should I trade the candlestick? Yeah, I'm gonna trade one of the candlesticks holders, or is it a 3-prong holder?
We'll say it's kind of like the pack. It's like a small pack of 3.
Okay,
nice
so
candlesticks.
one of the silver candlesticks.
Sure.
Oh, is it
Okay,
a candlestick holder or a candlestick?
Holder. So it's like
Okay.
the pretty metallic thing. Yeah, it looks kind of maybe made out of silver potentially. Okay, so you rolled a 34? Is that what I'm saying?
Plus 4.
Oh, 38.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I guess the D100 maybe on Roll20 automatically calculates it. I'll let you choose. Do you want a 34 or a 38?
Oh, 34.
You want the 34? Okay. Oh. Oh. Okay. He's like, oh, this was meant to be. Oh, yes, I love this. And out
I
comes
love
out.
trinkets.
He grabs this one, and it's like a little, kind of looks like a small rectangular box. Then he opens it up and grabs a little bit of, I don't even know what it's called, like blush. He puts it on his face and kind of puts some on his lips. He's like, a wonderful makeup kit. We ran out of black though. So you have all the colors ever except for black
Okay.
on this makeup kit.
Nice. Well, friends, do we need anything else?
Healing potions.
I love that. Melvin, I feel like you're kind of nervously saying that, like in the seriousness of the situation, you're like, anything else we need?
He's got
maybe-
an oil of slipperiness potion on his boring list. And I put a link to show what it does, but basically it makes a rectangle of slippery ground. So we could like put it potentially like at the gates, so as they enter they slip and slide and fall on their butts. So I can't afford it on my own. It would be 270. So we could all split it again, or whatever you're willing to contribute.
I'm down. I have 270 left worth of gold. So I'll. How much is it again?
Zabla actually notices. He kind of like looks around and sees like kind of the people scrambling around. He's starting to like be like, wait a second. Something tells me things are not good here.
You're very
Nay, sir.
perceptive.
I tend to be quite perceptive, yes.
A dragon's coming, Zoblob.
Oh, very scary. Very scary. Oh, yeah, even scarier, maybe, depending on the dragon. That's very unfortunate. And so, are you asking him about the potion, Abbey? What's going on here?
Well, I'm just like looking at the menu, like, do y'all remember this one? I think that one would be a good one.
Yeah.
I think I'm gonna
Awkwardly asking
trust.
everyone for money.
Well, I'm gonna
Yeah.
honestly trust your response. You're pretty good, like trap setter upper. You know, you flung us into the woods invisibly. So like literally, I have 270 gold. Whatever you want me to contribute, I think that's a great idea.
And then Zoblob looks at you and he says, Little Lyx, you once offered me something very precious. And I heard your speech that you told your town. This potion
Over here?
is on the house. And he takes it out, and he actually walks it over. He had it in his little weird coat, so no fancy jumbling, no nothing. He kind of takes off his backpack, and small Zoblob, he is a lot shorter than you. His blue skin, wacky head, and weird stuff. And he kind of like grabs both your hands and puts the potion in between it. And he says, "I hope you make it out. Maybe this will help. Probably not with a dragon though. It's got to be on the ground." And you now have the oil of slipperiness for free.
I'll like also give him a little hand squeeze, and I'll just be like, if I make it out, I'll get a lavender tattoo for you.
Oh, that won't be necessary. Maybe a good trinket would be.
I'll keep my eye out.
Trinket bargain would be better. But I appreciate the fanaticism. It is easy to be a fan of me. And
All right.
then he says, "Well, best of luck to all of you. I hope you don't die. You're very loyal customers. Especially you, Melvin. You seem to have a trinket addiction like me." And then he says, "Well, oh, what's that over there?" And then he kind of like points at the hills. Do y'all look? Willow doesn't. Everyone else looks. And then he looks at you, Willow, and says, "Shh," and he disappears. So
Where'd the bastard
Zoblob
go?
is
I
gone.
don't know.
All right. So let's say that. Do you all help with anything else now in town? Anyone you're seeking out? You guys can also split up. This is kind of a flexible time now, just to do anything else you think you need to do.
Is there a
Okay.
time restriction on the oil slick thing?
It lasts 8 hours or something.
8
like that?
hours. It lasts 8 hours.
Probably
Maybe
something
we'll
worth telling the good guys, right? If you're gonna set up a trap.
preemptively put that,
Yeah,
yeah.
I almost think we should inform and yeah, maybe have even someone else. I don't know.
Attack it.
Yeah, but do it quickly before they send more people in case the ones up on the hill were supposed to come back or they're just checking on them anyway. I don't want them to get caught doing that because that's not helpful.
Yeah, so there's multiple uses. You can technically drink it to get the freedom of movement spell. So you guys can hang on to it for that. Or you can use it as you are kind of strategizing, Abbey, as a giant grease slip. Or not giant, it's about 10 feet wide, which is enough for an entrance to somewhere, sure. Basically, if people aren't dexterous, they're going to keep falling on their ass on this thing.
Yep.
But the
We're
freedom
going
of
to-
movement spell, I believe, is quite powerful. It makes it.
So, otherwise, let's make sure that the leaders of Vogler are organized. Mayor Raven, those folks, Becklen, the fighters are in order. We've gathered. If the town has any sort of healing potions or anything, I hope that those were brought up. Rations have been
Yeah.
collected, presumably. Water has been collected, presumably.
Armory.
Yep, so all of those things have been accounted for, especially through all of y'all's inspirations. You guys got a weird report from one of Calaman's soldiers. They come up to you kind of while you guys are all helping, kind of checking on people. And they said, Than gave us a bunch of his leftover potions, which will be helpful for the battles to come. But did you all send some strange little blue guy? He also just gave us a bunch of healing potions too for our battalion. Thank you all if you did.
Buy from
and
Zoblob.
If I make it out, then sure, I will look out. I will seek out this Zoblog, and give him all my money.
He's a homie.
So yeah, you
I
kind of
also
get
think
that
that while
news.
all of this is happening, we were just gonna start, if everyone's okay with it, sending off ships as people are ready. I don't
Yeah.
want it to be mad dash. I'd rather us get
giant-
as many people
Yeah.
out safe as possible before anything even hits the fan.
Yep. Your parents definitely want to wait for you, Lyx. Obviously, a lot of the leaders and the main characters are actually going to be not leaving quite yet, including Buff, who's actually determined to keep helping set up everything with the barricades. But a lot of the children and family, actually, the children and those who are less powerful, the older people, they're actually setting sail at Willow's discretion. I'll say that 5-ish hours have passed now total, as the sun is starting lower. More people are sailing out. New boats are being set up. Lyx, your parents' boats are now being set up. It looks like the rest of the Voglins can now set up to leave. As you guys see all these silhouettes of ships and people kind of starting to disappear into the horizon, into the setting sun toward the glorious and massive city of Calaman. So great suggestion, Willow. Mayor Raven didn't even really think about that and was like, yes, that's a good way to kind of cycle people out. During all this, you all kind of notice that the Calaman soldiers start moving toward the river gates. Captain Rodon kind of waiting at the river gate as they're marching through. Kujul's forces are also marching forward, seemingly knowing what their battle plan is. Noticeably
Christian,
back.
sorry.
Yeah,
Is the river gate like the entrance?
the northern entrance. So technically, you can enter Vogler. The normal ways to enter Vogler are the northern river gate with the big fish wooden statues, or coming in through boat over the river, right? So those
Yeah.
are the two main ways to enter Vogler.
So does it make sense that the oil of slipperiness would have been on this like skinny path here?
Yeah, I was imagining somewhere there. Yep. So
Okay.
who do you want to give this to, a soldier or Captain Rodon or someone or Kujal?
Yeah, I'll give it to Kujal.
Okay. Let's do it. What does this look like?
We were gifted this potion. It like makes a greasy mess on the ground so that like people keep falling.
Oh, hell yeah. Really?
Yeah. Yeah, and he said it was like I don't know, like 10 square feet. I'm not sure how big that is, but maybe the path up ahead is skinny enough for us to kind of cut their entrance off.
Sure. Yeah, I got an A in geometry. I got this.
Oh, wow, nice.
Yeah, so you give Kujal the oil of slipperiness, and I'm gonna write that down.
I think we should discuss who we're going to be fighting alongside,
Yeah.
because we can't be everywhere all at once.
Mhm.
My is probably to stay with Sir Becklin, and I'm assuming Darrett's probably also gonna stay. I don't see him
Yeah,
going.
Darrett actually showed up, and he's like, "Thank you, Willow. Yes, we must fight Becklin at our side." Um, and yeah, so Becklin, or sorry, 5 hours have passed now as the people are heading out. Defenses are set up. The streets are narrowed with old junk. And sorry, I'm checking on my puppy real quick. Oh, he's good. There's a Garfield ad. And yeah, it's kind of a quiet moment, but it's tense. As you all know, the clock is ticking. And then suddenly, Sir Becklin comes out of Thornwall Keep. She's in her full regalia, right? So she's got the double-horned Knights of Solamnia helmet on, her full armor. She looks pretty powerful, and she looks like she's ready to lead. And she approaches you all. Cujo is also nearby on horseback. As Captain Rodon waits at the river gates, the forces seemingly already out and ready to roll. And then Derek kind of jumps in and says, "All right, Becklin, where are you going to have us fighting? You haven't shared the battle plans with any of us yet, so hopefully that you had something, clear for us. I'm guessing we'll fight alongside you." And then Becklin kind of like smiles at him and says, "Not quite, dear." And she looks at all of you and with just a really kind smile. And she tells Derek, or Derek's kind of like, trying to be like, what do you mean? Of course I have to fight." And then she's like, "No, no, you all will have an important task. You all will be the final line of defense to make sure everyone gets out of here. And then you all will get out, and you all will go on the boats. I'm going to lead this charge, draw the dragon's attention with Kujul's forces and with the Knights of Kalaman. We've all agreed. We have the siege ready. We have the high ground. We have the forces we need to cause enough of a distraction. You all will be the future of Bogler." And Darrett's kind of like speechless. And as he tries to like hesitate, and then she's like, I'll make things clear for you soon, but can you go to Thornwall Keep real quick in the library storage room? I left you something in a chest. Go grab that real quick and put it on, and then come back here. I have to tell these four something as well. And she turns to Melvin and Willow. She turns to you two. And she says, Ispin was right to call you friends. I'm glad I've had the chance to do the same. Melvin, your connection to the tide is wonderful. Only someone pure of heart as you can inspire your friends and this town as you have. Derek and Lyx grow stronger thanks to your beautiful words and music. Willow, you carry the strength and will to survive of a true warrior. You remind me of Sir Ispin. May you please both watch over Derek, Lyx, and Sneak as I know you will. And then, Colton, are you there?
I am, yeah.
Okay, good. And then she crouches down to you, Colton, and kind of puts her hand on your shoulder, and says, Sneak, I've seen you come so far from that little Kender who would spy around the streets of Vogler, being aloof and looking at the birds and not giving a care for the world. Now, I see a capable warrior, one worthy of carrying the DeLing family name. Let's both try and make it out of this alive. And who knows, maybe I can rethink your request to go on a date.
Chuck.
And she kind of like chuckles at that. She gives like a genuine laugh at that. And kind of hangs out with you for a moment there, Sneak, just kind of like laughing and maybe blushing a bit. And then
No, that music was so appropriate.
yeah, I know. That was good happy music for that. And then she looks at you, Lyx, kind of still staying pretty low, wanting to make eye contact with you. And she says, Lyx, little Lyx, I love you, Lyx. You and your fathers have brought so much joy and whimsy to our little fishing village. I remember excited, energetic Lyx running along the shores of the Vingard River, kicking sand wherever you could see it. Bilbricks rushing to you, yelling at you, chasing after you, as Waywin couldn't contain his laughter. Ispin and I are so proud of the independent, powerful gnome you've become. Stay true to your heart, as I know it guides you well. Don't give in to the darkness. I know there's been a lot of pain in these past weeks and these days and a lot of loss. But stay true to your pure heart, which you've always had. After all, I've never seen someone be so kind to rats. And she kind of chuckles and like reaches in and gives you a really powerful hug, Lyx. And you can kind of tell that you can feel some tears kind of dropping on your shoulders from Sir Becklin, who hasn't cried really all too much. And then all of a sudden, I don't know, or Lyx, or anyone, you all can jump in and say things if you wish.
I'm gonna squeeze in on that hug as they're hugging. I'm gonna just like go on and also give a hug too.
That's awesome. So yeah, all the shorties hugging.
I'm definitely gonna give them their moment, but after the hug seems over and they've said whatever they may or may not want to say, I'll go up to her and let her know that I will take very good care of Darrett if the worst happens, and thank her for everything. And just end with like a respectful goodbye, hopefully see you later kind of thing.
And then you all hear the clinging of armor kind of rustling. Like a and you all see Darrett Highwater in new Knight of Solamnia armor. And Becklin kind of stands up, says, you know, you guys can kind of see that Darrett is pretty flushed. He seems like he was maybe crying already. But he looks good. He looks strong. He looks kind of more mature than he's ever had in this armor. As he's holding Ispin's shield and now this suit of armor that Becklin somehow got for him. Or sorry, not Ispin's shield, Ispin's sword. Willow has Ispin's shield. Yeah, and then Becklin says, my, what a handsome knight. I hope I got all the sizes right. I wasn't too sure if I mended the whatever, you know, she made it, is basically what she's trying to say. And then, whoa, that's not what I want.
At Merrick?
No, sorry. Let me get out of that ad. And then Derek kind of looks at her and says, I'm no knight. What are you talking about? And then he's like, what is this all about? What's going on? And then she says, you are not a knight, but how about we change that? And she tells him, she says, go ahead and kneel and repeat after me, Darrett Highwater. And he's kind of like shaking a bit as he kneels gets on one knee. Yeah, and then they say the Knight of Solamnia knighting oath. And it goes a little bit like this. They both repeat after one another. Oh shit, on my phone. Sorry, real quick, I got it. And then I think we could take a break after this if you all want. But okay. So they kind of repeat after, Darrett repeats after Sir Becklin. I, Darrett Highwater, do solemnly swear to defend those who cannot defend themselves, their homes, and their communities, to conduct myself by the tenets of the oath and the measure, and to always aspire to the knightly ideal, to stand by my fellows of the knighthood in good times and ill, against darkness and evil, no matter the cost to myself, with the gods as my witness, till the end of my life, by the rose and the sword and the crown, est solaris oth mythas. And that last part, Melvin, only you pick up, which is in Elvish. My honor is my life. Dolores Mithas. And Derek rises, very emotional, now a new knight of Solamnia. And Becklin says, "Rise, Sir Derek Highwater, protector of Vogler." So she's giving him her title, who was once Ispin's title. And Derek is just incredibly emotional, obviously, but you could tell he also feels, inspired. They both have a very deep hug, very long hug. You all kind of notice even Kujal's kind of like moving her head away. You can tell she's trying to hide her emotions on the horse. And Becklin looks at Derek and says, "I love you with my whole being, my son. I trust no one more than you to protect Vogler. Even if our home is turned to ruin, it is not gone. Not as long as the people, the culture, the love for this community lives on. That is what you will protect. And that's why I entrust all of you to protect." And then she grabs something from her neck and says, "The god Brunchala finally answered my prayers last night. They sang me a beautiful song. They sang that the loves in our lives, they will live ever on. For home is not where we live. Home is who cares when we are gone." And Melvin, you automatically remember those lyrics from In the Blood, the same lyrics that you sang to protect Lyx in another dimension, maybe. And she puts this necklace of Brunchala, which has the harp of Brunchala, over Derek's head. It says, "He will protect you too. The gods have returned. I must go, my friends. Protect one another, and I will do what I can to hold off this army. I have good friends by my side." And she kind of like looks at Kujal, kind of bashfully. Besides, Ventrala was not the only god to aid me last night. And then she slams her sword on the ground, and it lights up as this radiant energy starts coming out of Becklin. And Lyx, you know that she's tried for her whole life to try and contact the gods, to try and channel the tide. She studied it more than anyone and never got anything. And now finally, in this moment, he looks to be a paladin of Kiri Jolith. So her sword is lit up with radiant energy, and some of you even notice kind of this radiant glisten in her eyes. And she says, "I will protect you all. Now go, save yourselves and your families." And then she jumps on the horse with Kujal, and Kujal kind of like punches her on the shoulder, and says, "What a speech, what a monologue. You think I'm gonna let you die before me? You're the most important person in the world to me." And then that's like Kujal being as nice as she's ever been, and like Becklin kind of like hugs her at that moment, as Derek goes to Becklin one last, or perhaps for the last time, and just kind of touches her leg and says, "Thank you for everything, Mom." And they start riding out to the river gates. As the soldiers of Calamand and the mercenaries see this and are inspired by Becklin and her radiant energy now, and are ready to fight and defend Vogler, Kujal and Becklin ride off into the sunset as their silhouette goes into the river gates, perhaps for the last time. All right. So we'll take a break there. Emotional stuff. Do you all anyone need to talk about anything before we take a break? I'm sorry if I'm causing pain. Hopefully not too much. All right. So they march off, and Darrett's kind of there with you all, clutching at his new Branchala necklace. Um, and he's just kind of silent. You can tell you can tell he's sad, but there's also a big sense of optimism and hope in him as well.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him a minute to just be by himself, but when it feels like we should probably move on, I'll just clap a hand on his shoulder and be like, we gotta go do what she told us. We'll be fine, she'll be fine. We got work to do.
Yeah. So he agrees, and you all spend some time. There's still people kind of packing up and getting their stuff out of their homes. You know, Vogler isn't that small, and not that many ships were able to launch at once. So even though one wave has gone out, there's still maybe 1.5-ish waves that need to get going. Yeah, you all are kind of helping with that. You know, moving things around, making sure people are getting there. And yeah, so y'all are kind of helping with that. Anything else that you guys kind of do during this time? It can be individuals.
I'll take one last look at my home.
Okay.
Just kind of
Yeah.
walk.
Do you go inside, or are you kind of looking at it from afar?
If it feels like I have time, I'll do one walkthrough.
Sure,
And
you have a little bit of
like,
time for that.
I just look at the items. I mean, so much was left behind. Um, don't know if it'll be here tomorrow or it'll probably never look like it once did. Yeah, and maybe I'm just kind of looking, maybe seeing if I did forget anything.
I'll let you do either investigation or perception, whichever you want.
Well, if you're gonna let me pick, investigation it is. It's only a 9.
Yeah, it looks like Belbrick's got everything that is important. Yeah, and you get to see your cute home for what might be the last time, at least in this state. Um, do you have any childhood memories or anything that pops up?
I have in my backpack, I have my personal items and like the Gnomish storybook but no, I think I'm just appreciating the carvings, feeling the sand on my feet one more time. It's just taking it in.
Nice. All right,
I
Sneak.
Yeah, sorry, I get so eager, my bad.
No, you did.
I would like to maybe take a peek around and just see if there's anything I can scavenge, any loot I might want, or just any items that might aid in the journey. Just a glance.
Sure. Do
Maybe
an
it's not.
investigation. Do an investigation check.
13.
Is there a vibe, a particular vibe? So you just helpful for the journey stuff?
I'm thinking stuff like uh maybe like I don't know, um weapons that aren't as common, maybe like tools, maybe keys,
I'll say
maybe
with a 13, you find about 200 feet of rope that you can throw into the bag of holding. So you guys now have 200 feet of rope
I love it.
that sneak kind of like like I don't know, almost like spaghetti or putting a hose away or something in this infinite bag. Um, yeah, rope's the big one I'm thinking of. Maybe you find a couple lanterns. I'll say 2 lanterns and um 200 feet of rope. And maybe like materials to like a stake, like stakes and a small hammer to like tie the rope to stuff. So basically equipment to set up ropes, 200 feet of rope and 2 lanterns.
Love it. Thank you.
Yep. And doing that probably takes up your time, Sneak, just so you know, all your time. And I think Lyx, you as well. Willow and Melvin?
Melvin's trying to uh read something that he read in the book that he
Okay.
has from Mount
The
Kwamba.
dream? Oh. Oh, the
The
weird
scroll,
notes, the weird
yeah, like the
scrolls that
scrolls.
Humruith gave you. Yeah. Okay.
He's
I thought you were
kind
talking
of
about
trying to
your
glean.
dream book.
That would be cool. And sort of just playing scales on soul keys. He's practicing the soul
Okay.
keys.
Yeah, so do an investigation check, I think.
Kind of trying to play around and experiment with the tide and those kinds of things.
Okay, well, okay, so with
Ooh.
investigation, you don't learn anything new with your books. That's what that was for, with your scrolls. It's just the information I've already given you.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of hard to still decipher that old New and Nesty language. Uh, You do think of the morning flame again, though. You think of the connection that that powerful item has to all of this, if any. Um, you kind of remember that scary moment where Lyx was holding it, I think, and you guys heard like a bunch of souls or something like yelling and then hitting you all. And then suddenly you were all fully healed. You kind of remember that weird moment in Mount Kuamba. But that's it, all stuff you kind of already knew. Um, Go ahead and do an Arcana check if you're kind of experimenting with the tide. Oh, there we go. Yeah, so with that, you feel that the tide is coming easier to you. That as you embrace emotion and feeling and care, the tide is kind of coming to you. And you kind of feel like it's helped you speak up more. You know, it's helped you like be braver. Um, but there's a part of you that's also cautious of the tide, especially with what Misko shared, where he said that he kind of feels the tide too, but has been pushing it away because it feels like a drug, and you can relate to that. So you're kind of remembering that part of it too. You're also remembering Branchala and your experience with Branchala, and you remember the small ring that you have of Branchala, especially now after, you know, Sir Becklin supposedly spoke to Branchala in prayer. Um, you kind of remember Branchala's words of inspiration, and you kind of think like with that 16, um, Melvin, you start to think like, do the gods reawakening have to do with the tide coming back? Like, does them having a presence again on Kryn matter with the tide? And maybe even to Kisis, because from what you know, she's a god of evil. Um, so yeah, you kind of think of all these things with your investigative and arcane practicing here, trying to calm down as people are kind of getting on boats. I'm guessing you're at the wharf. Maybe you all kind of make your way there. Melvin, you're kind of hanging out there trying to keep the peace while thinking about these things. Um, does that kind of sound like the maybe a scene that Melvin would be in? Okay, cool. Willow, anything you do?
Yeah, I think during that time she's been down at the wharf pretty much the entire time, switching between helping lift like heavier necessities onto boats and also trying to like play with the kids, give them some sense of less panic. Because I'd imagine everyone's freaking out pretty much. There's a dragon on the way.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's some kids that kind of want that like hang on that lock on to your biceps and like basically want you to lift them up. And you kind of play along with that. as they honestly don't really even know what a dragon is. A lot of the ones that you are interacting with, because dragons are pretty rare, or even some cases people don't even believe they exist. At least not anymore. Okay. Yeah, so you guys are all kind of either scavenging, reflecting, doing your thing. You all eventually make your way back to the wharf, to this section, the wooded area where the boats are launching. Darrett is helping out as much as he can. Um, yeah, and there's like another wave of people that are kind of heading out, and that looks like we need to load up this final wave. People are still kind of walking through the town quickly, trying to get their bearings, get on the final boats. Um, you all kind of agree to use your folding boat to take your crew, Darrett, and maybe any remaining soldiers that are able to escape. Does that seem fair? I think that makes sense. Lyx, your parents have a separate boat and they're taking a couple of people with them too. Mayor Raven's holding back as well. She's kind of holding back and just making sure that everyone is able to leave before she does. Stark contrast to the Bacarises, of course. And yeah, so your parents are on a separate boat, Lyx. You guys kind of agreed, like, yeah, maybe Mayor Raven, these last people, 15 or so people will jump on this folding boat at the end, and head out. Can you all make a perception check? Oh,
19.
okay. All right. So only Melvin, uh, a little kid kind of comes to you, Melvin. Um, as you thought in the distance, you kind of heard like a, you hear like this kind of booming sound. Um, and you kind of look around to see if anyone else heard that. Um, and then this little kid comes up to you, Melvin. He says, "What's that?" and points high up at the hills. And you see shadowy figures start to emerge from the high hills. Dozens of shadowy figures coming up as wings, small wings emerge from these robed figures. And with your 19, that's what you said? You see on those hills someone in long red robes, draping through the wind, flowing. They have incredibly long black hair, and it's also flowing. You can't tell what their face is, but it looks non-human. It's hard to tell from this distance. You just see this red robes kind of flowing through the wind with incredibly long black hair, almost like a metal singer or something like that, or just an elf with incredibly long black hair. And then you see a large being in black armor with the knights, plural, fluffing around in the air in the wind, staring over. And then somehow even taller than Lord Soth, who you immediately identified, is what looks to be this feminine being with black and gold, beautiful ornamentation, and these kind of spiked shoulder blades coming up. Also long black hair and this beautiful golden black crown. And you see them just standing there looking at Bogler. You see this dozens of shadowy beings appearing on the high cliffs of Vogler as their wings pop out and they start to glide down and fly down the hills at lightning speeds. Some of them landing on rooftops, some of them going onto the ground. As you see boulders flying through the sky, flaming, flying. You see 1, 2, 3, flying. Suddenly you look up and those three beings are gone. They're not there. Sot's not there. None of them are there. But you see more of those soldiers, more of the Draconians jumping over the cliffs, flying down onto Vogler to begin their assault. Somehow this group has broken through the initial forces of Becklin and Kujal. As people start running and people say, oh, they're coming, they're flying, they can fly, what are those things? And people are freaking out and jumping into the water and trying to get onto the boats. They're jumping in, and it's just pure commotion now. People running everywhere. Yeah. And this is the scene right now, just people running around, all kinds of bodies everywhere. And Darrett says, everyone stay calm, get on your boats, you have to evacuate, we will protect you. He has his sword out and is ready to roll.
Melvin reaches towards his waist, snatches his long sword out, the metallic shing kind of filling the air. He looks to the bronze bears and says, bronze bombers, let's go.
I am also going to go ahead and equip my long sword, but I'm going to equip it backwards. I'm going to hold it backwards like the hilt, so the sword's facing this way. Because I have this, like, so yeah. So I'm going to equip my long sword.
Yeah, battle axe is out, shields out, ready to roll.
Lyx is ready.
Ready.
Cool. So yeah, people are kind of rushing out, getting on boats as you all stay firm. None of you are evacuating. It sounds like you're going to stay and do as you promised Becklin and Darrett and Kujal. People are rushing out, people are getting on boats more and more as you start to hear some clinging of metal in the town, and you can hear screams as some buildings start to go aflame, and you guys actually hear somewhere in the town hear something that sounds like an explosion or a massive fire as more of these boulders start flying up from way behind these high hills. Apparently they had, catapults of all kinds. With that perception check, Melvin, you feel that some of those boulders definitely headed towards, the Brass Crab, Lyx's home, probably. It looks like some went toward the shore. And then some time passes, let's say about 10 minutes pass of trying to calm the crowd, getting people going. As the clinging gets louder, you guys see some soldiers in blue, Knights of Calaman, with dirt and sweating, and say, they're breaking through. They came at us in different angles. It's not just the forward force. They came from the coast too. They're coming through. They have all kinds of weaponry. Knights are kind of joining you all as dozens of knights actually pour in, some of Kujal's regiment. It doesn't look like anyone that you all recognize yet. But the Knights of Calaman are starting to join you all and helping the people kind of get in, protecting them. And then suddenly you all see Buff running, and he's carrying something. As flames blaze into the buildings of Vogler, but no dragon flying high can be seen yet. The smoke begins to billow as the Draconians begin floating down from the cliffs, landing on the rooftops, entering the city. The boulders go flying, as I've mentioned, from the cliffs of Vogler. You can hear the screams rise through the streets, and in the boats behind you all of the people trying to evacuate, trying to get going. As people scramble to bring the boats and rowboats down into the Vanguard River, right? They have to use the ropes, they have to cut the ropes. Some people are just kind of doing what they can. The soldiers of Calaman and the mercenaries start making like a barrier for people, or for, getting ready for the enemy to arrive, basically. And through all this chaos, you guys can see Buff Bakerson running toward you all, carrying something small. And he's carrying a gnome, a fair-faced gnome in his middle ages, with ruffled black hair and a black beard. He's carrying Waywin Sparkle Boots, who now has a large wooden splint piercing his left thigh. He looks more upset than he ever has in his life, but he looks alert and he looks alive, and besides that injury, well. Buff brings Waywin to you, Lyx, as Waywin grabs your face, tears in his eyes. He cries out, "Our home! Milbrix, he left something. Probably for his fucking quest. I didn't notice him leave the boat through the commotion. He jumped off the boat, and I suddenly saw him running through the shore, through the wharf, and onto the beach. I tried to chase him, but one of these wooden splints got me. I couldn't go. Running toward our home, Lyx. Please. I can't lose him. We can't lose him. Please, with your powers and with your friends. I beg you all. Please
I
save
feel like-
Milbrix.
Okay, I'm kind of looking to Melvin, like pleadingly, like maybe, I don't know, can you make sure my dad's okay? And then I'm gonna start running toward my house, probably.
Okay. So yeah, you just go immediately.
Yeah,
I'm gonna take off after her. I'll
Cool,
follow.
sneak. All right.
I'm gonna do a
Do a medicine check.
medicine
Go ahead.
check.
Yeah. And while you do that, Lyx, what are you feeling on the
just
inside?
like there's like one thought, and it's that I gotta make sure he's like, I'm like, I need to make sure he's still alive. Like I just saw one of my dad's destroyed, so yeah.
Yeah, Melvin, you can tell that he's gonna be okay. I mean, it's a bad injury on his leg. He definitely needs attention.
Can
And
I
you
stop
see
the bleeding?
Mayor Raven. Yes, you're able to stabilize the bleeding. And then Mayor Raven says, "Let me take him. I'll evacuate with Waywin now, and I can patch him up." And Buff kind of like nervously like hands him over to Raven. Lyx, you suddenly start hearing and feeling this darkness rise in you again, a familiar feeling. And you hear, "Gnome, little gnome, I feel your hatred and fear. Your vengeance can come. Simply allow it. Allow me." What do? Do you allow Crake?
No.
You don't.
I'm
You
like,
reject.
I-
You
no.
reject Crake's power.
I
You feel the power rise in you, and you feel like he can give you more power right now.
don't want to listen to him.
All right. Do you say anything or think of anything? You can think back a thought, or you can ignore him completely.
I'm ignoring him.
I thought you would last longer than this, but it seems you choose death. And he's gone. And nothing happens. So you're running, Sneak is running, Willow, Melvin as well, I'm guessing? Okay. So, as you all are rushing through the crowd and the soldiers, you make it to a section of the wharf. And then from the alleys, massive flames burst out as you guys are right outside the Brass Crab and it goes ablaze. And you all see and hear this weird steam. You hear this weird clanking, this very mechanical sounds piercing through as a dragon-like device, this giant dragon-like device on wheels, kind of rolls in
What?
with the draconians kind of like looking like they're controlling it and managing it. And you all see, here, I'll show you actually, this thing burst through the wharf, burst through onto the wharf, blocking your way as more draconians rush in, and the soldiers of Calaman and the mercenaries start fighting. And there's too many soldiers now in the way. There's too much fighting going on. The only way to get through the wharf now is to break through this, is to break through and to start fighting the Red Dragon army. So if I can escape, sorry.
He brings in a fucking tank and then is like, if I could escape,
Y'all are presented with this on roll 20. As Vogler is in shambles, and this massive robotic or mechanical looking dragon thing pierces through and is billowing smoke and is making all kinds of sounds as our familiar small draconians are helping manage this thing. If you all can remember, are you all on roll 20 now? Oh, it's black?
Yeah.
Same with mine, yeah.
Can you guys spawn? I think that might, or I
Oh,
mean,
that might help, yeah.
if you guys spawn onto it, that could help. But also,
Oh, yeah, that definitely helped.
that helped. You can see it now.
Yeah, I can
There
see
you go.
more.
Yeah, just spawn yourselves. Yep. So, I feel like you all probably came from here, but you can convince me otherwise.
No, yeah.
So if you all can place yourselves, it's probably around there in whatever orientation you want.
When I spawn, it just shows like a portion of it. Like I'm looking at, and it's giving-
Yeah, some of it's shadowy, some of it's blocked because it's buildings. It's buildings that you can't really see the inside of. Yeah, yeah. It's a little fancier, this map. This is the module at work, ladies and gentlemen.
Hell yeah.
How do you like twist which way you're facing?
That's a great question that I totally do not know the answer to. There is a way to do it. I think if you click it, there should be a small, weird, like blue thing on the outside, and you can kind of turn it there. But I believe there's a command key as well, but I don't know it. You want
I
me to
do not
Google it?
either. But if you select, you get the little blue dot at the top of your person.
Oh
Yep.
yeah.
Yeah, and that should help you kind of look around. Yeah, you guys can always, you're free to move that part around.
Oh, yeah, I'm not sure. Anyways, I can make it work. Anyways.
I think, yeah, it's for this fight, it's not super important. Like that feature is gonna be more important probably for like dungeons and stuff. But yeah, so
I need my barbarian to be able to see.
So yeah, so Vogler is in flames as you all have to fight your way to find Bale Bricks. And yeah, I mean, the buildings are blowing up here. This machine is just causing devastation. People are running away, obviously. If you all can remember, do you remember the fray from the Battle of High Hill over here? Basically, this fiery stuff here is a ton of soldiers just fighting. It's very hard to get through that without risking serious injury or just bad luck. So it's almost like a barrier of fighting. Does that make sense? The fray. So yeah, if you enter that, you're gonna enter some trouble. You can definitely try to go through it. You can try to break through it, but it's. All right, so, and then yeah, these buildings here are on fire. So, you know, if you go to them, if you get too close to them, you are at risk of fire damage. Here's the wharf, right, where some people are leaving. Here's another part of the wharf, right? So some people are scrambling here. Derek actually stayed behind at that initial section to help get those people out as you guys charged in. He said that he would wait for you all to make sure that you all made it out too. But without further ado, ladies and gents, let's roll for initiative.
Remember to select your token first.
Yeah, click your token and then hit initiative, and that would be the fastest way to do it. Because then you'll automatically pop up in my little thingy.
Oh, I rolled a 16 on the tray. Are you still able to input it or no?
Yeah, I can add you, don't worry.
You gotta be kidding me.
Oh.
What's going on here? Why is there like a million initiatives being rolled? I'm not doing that.
What do you mean?
It's
Oh.
just Holly.
What the heck happened here? Sorry, I got like a ton of initiatives.
Mine was 11, if that helps.
Okay, I'm fixing it. I guess it stayed from the previous battle. That's what it is. Sorry, Melvin, what's your new one? 8? Okay. Yeah, because your old ones stayed too. Sorry, I have all the old baddies here for some reason. What was yours, Sneak? 11? Okay. Willow, yours is 10? Lyx 10. Okay. I think we're good. And now the Bronze Bombers take their stand against the first onslaught of the Red Dragon Army, trying to not only protect some people from evacuating, but also Bill breaks through for some reason.
You're cutting out, Christian. I think your speaker might have switched over, or your mic.
All right, am I here?
Mhm.
Can you hear me? Okay, so let's go. Sneak, you're actually first with an 11.
Christian,
And then we have Willow.
I rolled 16. Did you?
Oh, I said 10 out loud, and you said that was.
No, I corrected and said 16, but maybe I was muted. Sorry.
Okay. Then actually, Lyx, you're first, and then Sneak.
Okay.
Sneak, do you actually only have 13 health? That doesn't sound right. And Lyx, keep going. I'm just double checking that because that sounds horrifically low. That sounds like level 1 low.
My health, my hit points are 18, but my armor class is 13.
Okay, gotcha. I changed that, so we're good. Cool. Well, it's definitely one-shot territory still, but.
All right, so I will go ahead and cast a Ray of Sickness to the front guy.
Okay, your friends are in the way, so you'll need to move.
Like, you okay?
Yeah.
I don't want to move too close.
And you want to hit this bozo?
Yep.
All right, roll your spell attack.
23.
Definitely hits. Roll damage. Then we
Nice.
have Sneak next. 19 damage?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Oh my god. Okay. Yeah, so you feel your power coming out of your hand. You spread out this awful ray of just disease and sickness as this draconian is just like. You actually feel less evil than normal using this. You feel like you actually channeled maybe something else, like maybe just the tide. But all right, anything else? Any bonus reaction, anything like that?
Nope, nothing.
All right, Sneak, you're up, and then we got Willow. All right, Sneak, so it looks like you darted over there.
Yeah, I'm gonna try to move to. Well, I'm also using it to see because I can't figure out how to see very well.
Okay.
So I'm using it to kind of see the field. But no, I will dart over here. No, I'm actually gonna dart maybe closer to them. Hold on. This is irritating me. Please work for me. Ah,
What's wrong?
this thing isn't working for me. I actually want to maybe hide in the rubble. Like I know I have nimbleness. So, I'm sorry. Hold on. I want to use naturally stealthy, so I want to be able to hide in the debris that's like surrounding the town. And I just kind of want to
What's
set
naturally
up.
stealthy from?
You can attempt to hide even when you are obscured by, obscured only by a creature that is at least one size larger than you.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. Do Kenders do that, or do Halflings do that?
I think it's Kender, but it might be Halfling. It says Scout. Source type is Scout.
Okay, I'll give it to you for now. Let's just double check, because I know that the Kender and Halflings actually have different abilities. And if you want, I'll let you choose. Like, you can mix and match if you want, but I don't think you can have all of them, because I think that would be too much.
That's understandable.
So, like, I know the Kender has like an ability to taunt. I don't know if you've seen that, which hasn't been, you haven't used yet. But yeah, you can keep this ability instead of that taunt, for example. So, but whatever, we can do that at another time. So what does this do again? Sorry, say it again.
Hold on, where does it go? You can attempt to hide when you are obscured by a creature that is at least one size larger than you. So
There's no creature obscuring you right now.
Okay.
You'd have
I'm
to be
having a
near
hard
it.
time moving this guy, so I'm really
You want me
sorry.
to
So
move him? Are you able to
Yeah.
see him?
Cristian, can I think maybe you should turn off the dramatic lighting because it's actually a little bit hard to navigate. I mean, maybe you all disagree,
No,
but
I would love to take it off because
I think
it's like
maybe we
such a
should
trouble.
toggle with it before
Yeah.
introducing it.
Yeah, the dynamic lighting.
Sorry, I'm a noob. I don't know shit.
You're good. So you can keep thinking of your turn. But I'm gonna. Oh, here it is. Off.
Okay,
All right,
thank
it's
you
off.
so much. I can see a little bit better. I still can't move my guy that well.
So in the future, hopefully we can. Hopefully you guys can get used to it, because I think it'd be really fun in like dark dungeons and kind of actual places where it matters. This is the light of day, fucking war zone. Like, I don't really care about the dynamic lighting here either, to be honest.
Okay.
It looks cooler too to see everything burned.
Okay, so Lyx had sent off some sort of sickening disease to the front line, right?
Yep.
Okay,
Just to
did
that
she
one
get any
guy.
out? Okay, so
He's
I
almost.
might just
He looks really rough. This guy right here looks really rough. She's the one. That's the one that got hit.
Okay, I might rush past him to see if maybe shit, should I just attack the main guy right now or should I just hit the side character?
Be careful, that's a machine.
That's a
Yeah, there's a
machine.
giant metallic thing.
That's right.
Like a
Do
fucking tank.
an investigation check real quick. Sneak. Quick investigation check. You're kind of like analyzing the situation. Okay, with a 14 Sneak, you are able to discern that that big metallic thing is being controlled by these foot soldiers. So
Oh,
you
okay.
can you surmise that, hey, we take out these guys, then that thing is just a weapon. It's just a tool, basically.
Okay. So then I'm gonna, I guess, rush towards the other guy, this guy right here. Yeah, that one.
Okay.
I'm gonna rush towards him and I'm gonna just try to do just like an unarmed bladed dagger from my family strike.
Okay, do it. Roll to hit.
All right, so that would be a 1d6. Where did my little thing go?
No, roll to hit is a d20, right?
Oh yeah, that's right. 18.
Plus all your shit, but yes, it hits. Yes, so roll damage.
Which I don't have any strength modifier, but yeah. So 1d6 now.
So remember I sent that form out, Colton, earlier this week?
Yeah, and like so the attack ability modifier, like strength, I don't have 0, but I have +1 dexterity, so I guess that's 19.
So your attack modifier is your dexterity modifier
Okay, so the
because
+1.
because that's what you use as a rogue.
Mm.
Yep.
So
So
okay,
what's your dex?
+1.
So +2 is 3, right? So then every time I say roll to hit, just roll a d20 and add that 3. And that's what that sheet that I made has.
A 3, what? I don't understand what the 3 would come from, sorry. A
2
dexter.
+ 1.
Oh,
So
okay.
it's your attack modifier, which for you is your dex,
Mm.
plus your proficiency bonus.
Oh,
Right?
plus proficiency bonus. Okay,
Mhm.
I understand now.
So that's only to hit. So, and that's why I made that chart so that you guys can just put that number in, and it's just, it's easy to have accessible and stuff.
Okay,
So
I didn't
every
realize
time
that's
I
how
say,
it kind of went. Sorry.
yep, no, you're good. So, and an easy way to remember that maybe is that where you can be proficient with a weapon to try and hit someone, right? But you're never proficient in causing damage. That's just the weapon, if that makes sense.
Hmm.
So damage you don't add your proficiency bonus to damage. That's just whatever the heck the weapon or spell is. That's when you whip out the d6 or the d8 or whatever your thing is, plus add your attack modifier. For you, that's your dex.
Okay,
Got it? So to hit
I
+3,
understand now.
and just roll the d20. Yep.
Okay. So then
And that's always your
18.
case.
Okay, so it'd be like 18 then +1 +2.
Yep, exactly. And
I
yeah,
understand.
and for me it helps to just add it and just have it on a little thing, and then that's it. Because then I never have to be like, what's my dex, what's my this, what's my that. It's just there.
All right.
So yeah, try and fill that out before next session, and definitely ask me questions leading into it, just so that we have those numbers down and we don't get bogged down with the math and stuff.
Yeah. Sorry. And then so after that I roll d6.
Yep. Now roll for damage. Sorry, go ahead and roll for damage.
So 2, not very much.
Plus your dex, so 3. So this one, the damage you add your attack modifier, and that's it.
Okay.
Not proficient.
So 5.
Or 3.
I rolled
Right?
a 2 and then +1 +2.
You don't add the proficiency to that one, so that's why I made the sheet.
So +1. Sorry.
Yep. No, you're good. So yeah, we're not proficient in dealing damage. That would be our weapons or our spells that do the damage. So 3 damage, not much. All right. Anything else, Sneak?
Nope. I'm gonna just shut my mouth. I'm dumb.
You'll get it. You'll get it. Alrighty. So we got Willow next.
Okay, so my quick question before my turn is it says that I can activate Curie Joel's Blessing with a reaction.
Yeah.
Does that mean it's just a free action or is that a bonus?
No, it's just a reaction. So now let's say an enemy tries, all of you don't have too many reactions except for I think Melvin. And Sneak with his weird skirmisher like dodgy thingy. Everyone has the reaction to do an opportunity attack. So if an enemy is in your space and then runs away, you can swing at them. So you're forfeiting that for this turn, but it's very unlikely that'll happen.
Okay, so it's just one reaction per turn.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Okay, perfect.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go ahead and start with that.
Cool. You smack the ground.
So yeah, I'll get right up on the one that's already pretty rough and see if I can hit him.
Okay. Are you able to move, Willow?
Yeah, I figured I'd roll first.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
I thought that was gonna be quicker. I'm so sorry.
Very good. And then we got Melvin on deck. We'll get combat. We'll get combat. There will be more of it coming.
Oh fuck.
So just 1d20.
Oh fuck. Plus your shit.
But that's plus 5 because I'm attacking with my so that's a 15 total.
15?
14.
14. Wow. Okay, that hits.
Okay. So
All right.
then we're gonna do it's a D8, I believe, because it's a single hand. And
Yeah.
then
Yeah, so now, so yeah, and then add, I think, whatever I gave, was it a D4 radiant?
yeah, so but that's a 3. Yeah, so 3 plus, I believe that's +5. And then
Your
yeah,
attack modifier.
1d6 radiant. With a 6 radiant. I don't know if that's
Oh shit, nice.
more effective on them. I don't know if they're
So 9 plus your attack modifier, what's that?
Oh, my attack modifier is +2.
Okay. So 11 damage then.
Yeah.
And you're hitting this guy, the same one that Lyx hit?
Yeah.
And you're running up and hitting them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you do that. It dies, and it grabs you, and spits out its gas as it's dying. As Kiri Jolith's words resonate in your head, finish them off with range. And
Yeah.
I need you to take a Constitution saving throw. That's why I was evil smiling, by the way. Oh shit, a great saving throw though.
Mhm.
So you feel like you're getting restrained. It's kind of taking over as you're like, God damn it, how many times am I gonna run into this?
I remembered to try to hold my breath this time.
Yeah. You thought it through with the dice, and you're good. As the draconian turns to stone, I'm gonna like make him a symbol. He's still kind of there as like a weird statue thing. But yeah, anything else for you? Yeah, and you are right there.
I'm just gonna call back to everybody. Range weapons, please. And yeah, that's the
At least for the finishing blow. Yeah, at least for the finishing blow.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. Melvin, we got you coming up, or not coming up. It's your turn, Melvin.
Yep. So the first thing I'm gonna do is roll to hit with Vicious Mocker.
Perfect. Cool. Who are you hitting?
The one with 4.
It's a sneak. Okay.
So I'm hitting the one who's got the 4 on the turn order.
So they all do actually. To make it easier for myself, the same enemies, I just keep the same initiative.
Okay. Well, in any case, it's a 17.
Cool. That hits.
Yeah. Melvin sort of looks and is infuriated and says, ha, how does it feel to be the failed experiment of a dragon army? So now I'm going to roll 1d4 psychic damage.
Let's see how much you do. Oh shit. Well, you add your spell attack modifier.
I think that would add it, doesn't it?
Oh, it added it already? So
rolling 1d4 for
+1.
psychic.
It can't be +1.
So then
isn't it charisma?
+5.
It's like your charisma's +5?
+4.
Oh,
so
total
gotcha. 5.
Gotcha. Or 6.
All right. Now give me a
6,
spell.
right?
Yep. Now give me a wisdom save.
Cool. Let me take away his health, and I will do a wisdom save for our friend. Probably failed. 11.
Yep.
Perfect. What happens?
So basically he is so caught off guard by this little 5'4" new and nesty. Perhaps he's never seen a drow before. He's like, oh, kind of rethinking his life. So he has disadvantage on the next attack roll.
Okay. All right, I will give him this teardrop. Shit, I can't even see that.
I can.
Okay, you can? All right, just kind of remind me, but I think I'll remember. He's probably going to attack Sneak next. So he has disadvantage on his next attack. Perfect. Oh, whoops, he's not dead. So yeah, so do these weird failed experiment insults, and this thing, like, for a second, like, it was like, huh? And, like, you could tell it kind of hit. But now it's their turn.
Nope.
Um,
No, it's
no?
not,
Oh, my
because I'm
bad,
gonna
sorry.
use my bonus action.
Yep, go
So
ahead.
Melvin touches the amulet of melodic enchantment and sort of whispers, Melodia, I need you. So I'm going to expend one of my bardic inspiration die. So it
Uh-huh.
goes from 4 to -1.
Uh-huh.
So can Darrett see me?
He's pretty far. How far is this?
60 feet from where I am in the back.
Yeah, I don't think so, because there's a huge battle going on here. People fighting. Darrett's actually not on this specific battlefield. He stayed where Mare Raven and Waywin were. You guys are kind of
So
moving down the wharf away from him. He's further north.
okay, so there aren't any
It's just you
friendlies.
guys. Yeah, it's
Okay.
just you guys at the moment. And I mean, there's soldiers in the fray fighting, but they're busy battling.
Okay. So everybody, 5 temporary hit point shield.
Oh, nice. Okay, excellent.
So and then
Yes, that's really good.
so each of you can also immediately move up to your speed without provoking opportunity attack.
So basically, you can retreat, reposition.
Mm-hmm. And that obviously Melvin is now Melodia has cast Mantle of Inspiration.
I feel like this is your first mid-battle transformation to Melodia, so that's awesome. Like, you do it normally like right before battle or something, and here you're like, nope, coming in. Yeah, so an amazing, beautiful voice comes out and inspires you all to move your full movement speed right now. Oh wait, is it as a reaction? So Willow, actually, you can't if it's a reaction, because Willow used her reaction. But Sneak, you can reposition if you want to for free, or as a reaction.
Hooray, I would love to. I'd just love to bounce back. I'd love
Cool.
to go, like,
Do you want me to move you? I know you're having issues moving.
let me see if I can do it. No, yeah,
And
could you
then-
move me? Oh, wait, hold on. I got it. I'll move like right over here just to get out of the way.
That's-
Yeah, hit S to select.
Okay, that helps.
Oh, nice. Cool. Okay. Lyx, are you moving? Or anyone else gonna move out of the reaction?
I moved to like
Cool.
15 feet.
I'm
Cool,
gonna
so
also take. Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
I still have movement left,
Yep.
so I'm gonna scooch forward.
You just saved my ass,
Those two.
Melodia.
Always do.
See, Errol, thank you for
Coach.
catching me there, because I'm in like helping mode, so I'm like bonus action, this action, whatever, and then when it's your turn, I'm like, he's got it. So like I kind of like was like, oh, Errol's done, he's got his whole turn. So my bad there. Definitely, always call me out if you guys can do shit, and if your turn's not complete. Like,
Did I just class up in DnD player level?
Yeah, so I guess I was just like, all right, Errol's he's got it down. Okay, bad guys' turns. They actually see you all fucking about and start messing with the machine. You see one of them run up, light something up, put a flicker inside this thing. See another one. Use an action to start aiming this thing, and they're gonna turn it that way. And I probably should have played with this feature. A 60-foot cone is gonna come your guys' way. Shit. Spellcasters, any help here? Where's the symbol to do shapes? I think I can hit almost all of you. To do a cone, is there... That's my bad. I should have checked this. Let's see if I click it.
Sorry, hit the measure on the left hand toolbar, or hit Q to open it. Then
I
the
see a
shape
cone. Yep.
cone.
Okay. Is there a way to do the width?
I probably shouldn't help you, but
Okay, I think I see it. So
there's like a
60
degree.
Oh, and you can pull it out. Oh, perfect. Oh God. Okay, so sneak is good, but everyone else is in range. Everyone else, go ahead and do a dexterity saving throw.
Shit. And that's where you use the one to the right of your skill slots. That's a saving throw.
Yeah, now it's a saving throw. It's not a dex check. So yeah, and Colton, you did it right, but you didn't have to do it because you're good. But good to practice. Good to practice. Know where the stuff is. Oh shit, guys. Oh shit. All right, you're all taking full damage here. Oh shit. Oh no. I ain't signed up for this now. All right.
Yes, you did.
Holy shit. Okay. How are you all doing? So it's actually going to be 34 damage.
I'm dead. I don't know what else to say.
Okay. So as this machine starts flames coming up, like an actual dragon, just blasts all of you. Let me see everyone's health. Okay, so we're at 21. Ooh. Ooh. That's rough.
Oh wait, 10.
Yeah, but I added it.
It still got me with just
Yeah.
one point.
So
Like, I'm
hold
also
on.
out.
Hold on. I'm actually gonna do something.
Okay.
I'm gonna do the generic damage because I rolled 2 10s in that. And that's a bit insane. The generic damage is still gonna do a shit ton.
Okay.
Was it 5 health points shield? Okay. 22 damage. That leaves Lyx at 1 health. That leaves no one has resistance to fire. 7 health for Willow, correct? And that puts our boy Melvin at unconscious. As Sneak, you see your friends get blasted by this giant thing right before your eyes, flames filling the wharf as these draconians are laughing. Your laughter as Melvin / Melodia falls unconscious to the ground. And then you hear, "They're over there! They're over there! Rush in!" As Captain Rodon bursts through with some soldiers. Darrett bursts through to try and save your asses next session. So we will start there. We will start with Melodia unconscious on the ground. You guys getting blasted by this giant tank. Yeah, guys, this is a big ass tank thing. It's not a. It's a weapon. But you're all barely hanging in there except for Melodia. So think about how you're gonna save each other next session, and I will send reinforcements in, which I already have. To come in. And it looks like Abbey has some reinforcements too. How are we all feeling? That was very emotional. Lots of highs and lows in this one.
Scared.
What a way to end. That's why I was like, when you guys were like, "Hey, let's play till 9," I was like, oh. I feel like we're gonna end on a cliffhanger, but whatever.
For retconning the almost TPK.
Yeah, I mean, I wanted to do. I saw like 5 dice. I'm like, oh, maybe it'll actually be lower than the generic damage. And I was like, oh, never mind. I rolled 2 fucking 10s. Like that's a bit much. So, but I mean, it's still pretty bad. Uh, this is a bomb, basically, right? This is the bomb being used against you guys. This is new technology. And yeah, this is our first big challenge, it looks like.
Can I ask
Yeah. I'll stop the music.
so the fire inside,
Yep.
that's like fire inside?
Something within it that was ignited that burst out. You notice one of the draconians lighting something up. Yeah, and just to be clear, I know you know this, Errol, but you are not dead. You just fell unconscious.
I have to start doing death saving throws.
Yeah, but someone can stabilize you. Any kind of healing automatically brings you back. So just to be very clear, if you remember, Desmond, I think put Bottom unconscious, and she was also in a similar situation. So unconscious does not mean dead. Melodia is not good, but needs help. But they're not dead. So just want to make that super clear. No one's dead. You guys are just in a very shit situation. Cool. Well, this is scary. It's more fun for me probably right now than you guys, so I'm sorry. But yeah, what a dramatic session. I don't know. I feel it's always weird to get to these really evil moments. But you guys will rise from the ashes. You must rise.
Or die trying.
There ain't none more to do but rise.